Hi, my name's Jeff and welcome to this lightning smart thinking piece. Today we're going to look at the SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, either to yourself, to the team you find yourself in, to your division or to the organisation as a whole. It's a classic strategic thinking tool, but in my experience isn't always applied as it might be. And the key differentiator is to remember that strengths and weaknesses are internal and opportunities and threats are external, either to yourself, to the team or the division or the organisation you find yourself in. We're going to take each stage in turn. I'm going to ask you to pause the video and think about the context in which you find yourself operating. And let's start with strengths first off. So thinking about strengths of yourself or the team or the division or organisation you find yourself in. Yeah, what are the strengths? What would you say, and what would your clients or anyone else in the organisation say, or anyone from your competition say about your strengths? Pause the video now and create that list. Welcome back. So imagine now you've got yourself quite a list of those strengths, those things which potentially you're proud of. Now let's move to the areas of your work that perhaps you're less proud of, that might be regarded as weaknesses or areas for development. What might those start to look like? And typically there may be the systems, there may be the way that you work, there may be certain applications of technology, or there may indeed be some behavioural skills or some cultural dimensions of the organisation in which you find yourself. So I'm going to invite you to pause the video in just a moment and make a list of those. What would you regard as your weaknesses, the areas for development for yourself, for your team, for the division or for the organisation in which you find yourself? Away you go. Welcome back. So we're now focused on the strengths and weaknesses which are internal, and we're now going to move the focus to external. So these are the opportunities and the threats. Again, this idea of these two areas that we might be looking at. So first of all, let's take opportunities. Opportunities, areas that you've not perhaps exploited or developed yet. They may be new markets, they may be clients and customers, they may be new technologies, there may be shifts in the way that, that society is thinking, which haven't yet been fully developed yet. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video in just a moment and to think about those. What opportunities would you start to recognise, either for yourself or for the team or for the division or for the organisation in which you find yourself? Where are the trends and what are things that are beginning to emerge in your world at the moment? Okay, pause the video and make a list of those. Okay. The final part of this now is to look at the threats, the things potentially that are keeping you awake at night, some of those changes that have gone on recently, particularly if you're challenged by the coming out of the pandemic. What are the things that are emerging in your world that are giving you most cause for concern? What are those threats that you currently face? And they may well be coming from shifts in technology, they may be coming from legislation, they may be coming from some changes in the way that customers and clients think about you and think about the world around them. Okay, make a list of those. Welcome back. And the final stage of this now is to take a very long, hard look at those strengths that you have and the opportunities. And as you start to group them together, the strengths, and as you start to group together the opportunities, are there things that align? Are there internal strengths which align with an external opportunity? If that's the case, you may well have something that's well worth taking a very long, hard look at in terms of developing. Similarly, if you've got an internal weakness or group of weaknesses lining up with some external threats, then they are certainly worth taking a look at. So let's draw together what we've been doing today. Strengths and weaknesses are internal to the organisation, opportunities and threats external to the organisation, which is how you use the SWOT in order to identify what are the key strategy imperatives that currently face you, your team, or your organisation as a whole. In the next video, we'll look at how you develop those further. So join me then, and thanks for watching today.